Hey there, Rebus Forever here. Since the Circle Empires video did so well, and since my last video on this game did so well, I thought I'd combine the two things for double the victory. So welcome to another 1 minute-ish review. Maybe the last if anything else breaks on my computer, between now and becoming a YouTube millionaire. So, if the thought of the pounding thrill of a high-speed post-apocalyptic road trip with Mad Mike and the T-Birds in hot pursuit gets your motor running, if you liked Death Race 2000, but thought it had not nearly enough death, and a touch too much racing. Or more importantly perhaps, if you just like becoming familiar with obscure Games Workshop licenses because of the social currency it buys you, then Dark Future Blood Red States may well be the game for you. The game is set in a world where the USA, rather than install itself as world policeman post-World War II, returned to its insular isolationist attitudes, allowing for a more mellowed manifestation of communism, but unfortunately allowing the USA to become totally controlled and owned by corporations, with Nixon seemingly crafting Trump's America much sooner. The overwhelming control of corporations led to a spiraling environmental cataclysm and the passing of new laws creating approved operatives who could hunt the wastes for wrong-uns. On the plus side, they listened to some sweet Stranger Things-esque synth music, so perhaps it's not such a dark future. The game wears its politics on its sleeve, so if you're the sort of person who thinks walls will fix complicated economic issues that cause migration, and you also have a thin skin, this might not be the game for you. Or you might want to skip the emails you get from the various sources while you play at least. Onto the gameplay. At first it might appear to be a racing game for idiots. In fact, if it was just a racing game, that might be fair. Apparently there was an old NES F1 racing game like this, but the only experience I think I've had of anything similar was a recent Formula 1 business simulator that I think I might understand slightly better as a consequence of playing Dark Future than I ever did whilst I actually played it. Dark Future, however, as I say, is not a racing game. There isn't even a race mode. It's more like running the gauntlet. There are cars that are on a road that are all largely going in the same direction. I mean, I don't mean to be a pedant. Well, actually I do mean to be a pedant, but that aside, how does this road system work? Is the entire continental road system one way? The scenery and setting are all perfect, but if there had been at least some incoming traffic, the city builder fan in me would feel a lot more comfortable. Like, no wonder there was an environmental collapse. If when you pop out for some milk you have to drive around the entire country, arriving 6 weeks later with soured milk, only to have to go out immediately again to get some fresh milk. No wonder everything looks like a scene from the movie Hardware. I think I might have digressed there slightly. I think I was talking about the gameplay. You have the option to play this a bunch of different ways depending on the situation. Playing wrong will result in hilarity and death, sometimes just the former, more often the latter. When the opposition is light and your car upgraded to a sufficient level of godliness, you can play in real time, activating abilities, setting targets, changing lanes and speed with various hotkeys that are all fairly intuitive. When things take a turn for the serious, your armor pierced, the enemy all around you, and the bullets flying, it can pay to switch to command mode. Here you can set orders that take effect in real time in a more granular way, allowing for careful tactical decision making in the thick of combat. This is a game that can seem trivially easy, and then come to a sudden and abrupt end after a few moments of overconfidence. To soften the blow, you have the corporations you can appease through the completion of missions that over time expand the range of items that will appear randomly in the store. Scant reward perhaps if you get killed one mission before the end of a season, but the real rewards await those who complete a season. This unlocks an alternative mode for the vehicle that you've just completed the game with, and usually unlocks another vehicle. I was pretty excited imagining how awesome the last vehicle you unlock would be. I was imagining a tank or a war truck, maybe some sort of hover vehicle. If you buy the game, be sure to unlock the last vehicle. It is a beast. I would spoil it here now, but no, I can't. Totally worth the investment in time. A season consists of completing X amount of global objectives. This could involve needing to make X amount of money, or completing a certain type of mission. The missions themselves are varied with 3 tiers of difficulty and mutators. This creates the opportunity to stray from your main objective by completing easier missions, and farming cash for upgrades, or ploughing straight into the more important missions that contribute towards the main objective. Against this is the increasing price of fuel, which in theory should create a ticking clock, but for me never became much of an issue. With no mission lasting more than 10 minutes, the game is suited to both casual short plays and longer sittings. A huge range of weapons, a bunch of unlocks, some basic though effective visuals, and some solid gameplay. I'm honestly surprised this game hasn't done a little bit better than I think it has. Roguelikes are still popular, right? I do however think £15 probably would have been a fairer upper limit on the price. 20 quid feels a little bit too steep. There are still plenty of crashes for me, and despite the wide range of vehicles, many of them are visually similar. with only the weapons that you equip the vehicles really making them feel distinct, and those weapons being universal, leading to most of the cars feeling a bit samey. There is a wide range of weapons, as I say, but the store only stocks a limited and random selection. Add to this the reality that you only have funds when you do, and the tactical element of setting up your vehicle becomes more a byproduct of chance than choice. An option to design your own vehicle loadout with a set range of points to spend would massively increase the replayability for me. This would legitimately give me an opportunity to tactically vary my playstyles rather than rely on chance. Either way, this was an interesting game. I'll probably carry on playing it just to beat the game with each car's pro loadout. I'm glad to see increasing numbers of Games Workshop games that cover less mainstream franchises. When someone remakes Final Liberation, I will be a very happy goth. Till then, if you like my stuff, share it someplace. Had a rubbish 2 months of varying problems with my channel and my computer. If you want to take that support further, there are platforms and a Discord on the front page. Toodle pip.